Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, ready to go through the latest news and rumors around the Cincinnati Bengals. If you're a diehard fan or if you're just continuing to look for free videos around this team, look no further. Look underneath the video. There's a subscribe button. I want you to go ahead and click that. Here at Chat Sports, we predicate ourselves on being able to keep you guys up to date, going on literally or with everything going on around your favorite team, especially the Cincinnati Bengals. All right, y'all, what we're talking about here on today's show is Xavier Su'a-Filo in terms of could he potentially be a roster cut heading into training camp. ESPN released an article going above and beyond saying, like, hey, I got 32 players from 32 different teams, and we're going to pick one of those guys that could ultimately get cut. And the guy that was decided to get cut here for the Bengals was Xavier Su'a-Filo. If Cincinnati decides to move on from this offensive guard, they're going to go ahead and save $2.4 million. This team drafted Jackson Carman out of Clemson in the second round of this past year's draft. I did think that might have been a little bit of a reach. Item is a round 3 grade, but still, he's an upgrade over Su'a-Filo. And he's also going to compete with Quinton Spain for just an ultimate depth roster spot. So as it stands right now, here's what the Bengals offensive line depth chart looks like. And if there's an improvement area, they did get a little bit better. They needed to upgrade at the tackle positions. I like the signing of Reef as well because, let's face it, your organization is not built on the guys playing up front. It's built on trying to be able to protect Joe Burrow, and can he stay healthy after, unfortunately, a pretty significant injury last season. So with Spain, Su'a-Filo there, I am interested to see how this whole guard situation does end up working out for the Bengals. But in terms of Jackson Carman, last season in Clemson, he played in 12 games, allowed 4 sacks, but he is a good young player. He's got a lot of body to be able to build into yet, and I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do in Cincinnati. Another player to keep in mind here is Quinton Spain, and if you noticed, he was the starting right guard on our depth chart. 6'4", 333 pounders, 29 years old, played in 12 games and allowed a sack. Now here's what ESPN had to say on this, why they went with Su'a-Filo here in terms of being that roster cut candidate. Su'a-Filo was signed last offseason to be in the mix for a starting guard spot, but with the midseason acquisition of Quinton Spain, who appeared to end the offseason with a single track at left guard, Su'a-Filo is at risk of not making the roster. Now, you're going to see a lot of different roster moves throughout the entire offseason. As a reminder, it's basically at the end of August is when you really have to get down to that 53-man roster spot, but Su'a-Filo is definitely going to be a dude to keep in mind. In terms of what he did in 2020, this is according to Pro Football Focus. He played in 293 snaps, had an overall grade of 59.1. His pass blocking grade, which was actually halfway decent, above average, 74.8. And then that run blocking grade of 52.1, that's definitely below average. Now here's how many games he has started over the last 4 seasons. In 2020, was able to start in 5 games, 2019, 4, 2018, 8, 2017, 16. Essentially, you're starting to see a trend here of where he was playing a lot more and then starting to play a lot less. And the fact that he played 5 games this past season for the Bengals, I don't really think that's too much of a good news for him. It's more of just how much this Bengals offensive line did struggle, especially with some injuries. So as it stands right now, he's definitely going to be on the roster bubble. So before I leave y'all, I'm going to hit y'all with this question here. Is he going to end up making the 53-man roster? If you think that he is, go ahead and type your Y for yes, or you can type your N for no. I'm somewhere like right in 50-50. I do actually believe that, or I guess the question is, will the Bengals cut Su'a-Filo? Y for yes or N for no? I'm going to go ahead and actually I'm going to say my N for no because they are going to ask for a little bit of depth, but $2.4 million is pretty enticing.